all the electronics are running slow. Like, all of them. Doesn't matter what they're doing. So that, hence the Scooby-Doo tilt to the head there. But good morning, beloveds. Yeah. It was warm enough out there that we opted to go for a bike ride this morning. So, okay, we are doing living the science of mind. So let's do the housekeeping really quick. And that's simply me reminding you we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. The website is creativelife.org. The constant contact is info@creativelife.org. If you will email that, that will get you on a constant contact email where you get one email a week unless something unusual happens, because hurricane season has started and we do live in hurricane country. The hot links are hot. So if it says click here now, take you right to the information of the person that can help you get it. It is a blind CC, which means nobody will see your email. Nobody will get your email from us. And it just simply tells you what's going on for the week and the month. So definitely worth having. All right. And there are all kinds of cool graphics in there. So worth looking at. Okay. That is that. And then let's talk about the social media really fast, because you are watching this on a social media. We do not monetize our social media because we don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So what we ask you to do is go like, subscribe, share, follow, comment. Engage with our pages, because that allows us, it bumps us in the algorithms, more people see our stuff. So, please do that. And we are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark. And I am the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. Also, don't monetize them. I don't want to deal with paperwork, or the ads. So, all right. There's that. Okay. Is that everything? I think so. That's the, so let's talk just briefly about what the book is. And there's multiple descriptions of the book. It's his commentary on his Science of Mind text. The essays were pulled from the at-home course, which used to be at the back of the Science of Mind magazine. You could mail off for it, and they would send you a lesson a week for 48 weeks. So that's where most of the essays came from. What I really, my personal opinion is that a lot of the essays in here, people came up to Ernest and had questions. You know, they either wrote to him or called him or actually talked to him in person and said, hey, explain this to me. So he did. And that's why this has that kind of that one-on-one answering questions feeling. So there's that. We just happen to be in a series of really short ones. So that today is also very short, less than a page. It's about 3/4 of the page. And it's called Your Understanding. So let's find out what what Ernest means by your understanding. All right. Your consciousness of good is the law of elimination to every discord. Your treatment enforces the law and is the activity of its power. Be sure you do not deny your own understanding. The inertia of human thought, rising as it does from the morbidity of race consciousness and the mesmeric grip of race suggestion, seeks to claim that you do not have the power to heal, the consciousness to heal, or the spiritual capacity to heal. Recognize this false argument for what it is. It is nothing claiming to be something. It is a lie claiming to be the truth. It is a habit of thought, unwilling to surrender itself. You must know that the thought of truth dispels this mental inertia and frees the consciousness. Heal the thought, and the law of perfection will establish harmony. Know that it does this immediately. Every treatment must incorporate within it the consciousness of completion, of perfection, in the here and now. Use positive statements to declare that the divine power which you use frees you from the hypnotic belief that would deny you the privilege of helping all who come to you. A practitioner must continuously be conscious that all the good there is theirs, not some part of it, but all of it. It is not only available, it is workable. It is not only ever present, it always responds to them. And that's the biggest thing right there. Knowing, it always responds. Even sometimes when the response is not responding because, we have allowed that race consciousness to tell us that it doesn't work. And the fact that he cracks me up by talking about the inertia of human thought. The inertia of human thought and the morbidity of race consciousness. Because let's be honest, race consciousness is pretty morbid. We get these definite ideas and it's nothing. It's nothing. A habit of thought unwilling to surrender itself. Go out and talk to the general public and you'll get some really interesting ideas. And it's like, take a sample and you're like, whoa, like I work my Monday through Friday mortgage paying job is what I like to call it. I work in a health food store. And so I talk to all kinds of people. Like some days I meet people who have just come from their doctor's office and they've been given something really awful, some really awful diagnosis. And they're like, and we're like, well, here's some things that we can do that can help. Okay. And you're just like, some days I walk away from work, like I walk away from customers and I go, wow, you live in a really scary world. That's what Ernest is talking about. There are a whole lot of people walking around who live in a really scary world. And I'm just like, I don't live in that world because I believe that, I have access to the source of my being. I have access to all of that power, right now, now I am not hardball metaphysics because if I was, things would look a little different, but I believe that I have the power to change my situation. I believe that I have the power to hold space for you to change your situation. I can't change your situation for you, but I can hold the space until you are ready to change your situation. I believe that I do have that power. That is my, as Ernest likes to say, that is my spiritual inheritance. And I do look at race conscious and go, why do we accept these things? Why do we accept these things? Just because a whole lot of people believe them doesn't make them true. And I like that he says it's like a habit of thought that's unwilling to surrender. Here's the good news. You don't break a habit. You replace a habit. And so the more of us that, think this new thought way, who recognize our spiritual inheritance, who recognize that we have the power and privilege and, I was going to say right, but that's not, that's not the, word that I want. To go right to the source of our own being, like duty. That's not the word again, but we have the responsibility, the responsibility to go to the source of our own being and say, this is not okay with me. This is what I would like in its place. The more of us that do that, then we can shift the morbidity of the race consciousness. And all it takes is being willing to do that daily spiritual practice, and to replace that habit. The habit doesn't have to surrender itself. We will simply replace it with something else. We will take that habit and turn it on its head and turn it into something new. Like if you have the habit of worrying already, like you have this time set aside to worry. Well, why don't you use that set aside time to worry instead of worrying? Treat for what you'd rather have instead of what you're worrying about. That's how you replace the habit. That's how you replace the morbid thought. It's like, rather than thinking the morbid thought, let's think about the opposite. What is, if I'm going to worry about this situation, what would I rather have in its place? And let's focus on that. That's because where our focus is where our power goes. Well, why would we want to focus on the morbid? I mean, outside of human nature. But I believe that human nature can change. We can up-level human nature. And I'm going to do my part by, moving that habit around and going directly. Well, I mean, I've always gone directly to the source of my own being. I think that's why I ended up in Science of Mind. Because I looked at the rest of the religions and went, there's too many people between me and God. No. So, I want to go directly to the source of my own being. And you have that power too. It's your right. It's your responsibility. It's your inheritance. It is your spiritual inheritance. All right. Well, that was his little thing on understanding. Not the most dynamic and interesting, but, still, he got a couple of lines in there that are really good. There is nothing between you and the source of your own being. You have access to all of that power right here, right now. And if you're in the habit of not using it, well, replace that habit. All right, beloveds. I am going to now encourage you to have a great day, wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a take care of business day, a you got this day, a stay out of the direct sunlight day, a drink plenty of water day, a cuddle your fur babies day, a it'll all work out day, a tell somebody you love them day, a look in the mirror and tell yourself you love yourself day, a recognize who you are day, a good day, because I'm running out of adjectives day, and if that is too much pressure, and I do understand, sometimes it is, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You're a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark, spirit in motion, God in action, an absolutely beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time, at your own pace. All right, beloveds. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. Explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. And from there, all things are possible. All right, beloveds. Take care of yourself. Oh, no, hang on. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9:15 tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.